Chapter 5. Counseling the Wayward Student. One professor's wise approach. A certain college professor was loved like a father by his students. One day he invited a student who had been leading an irregular life to his house and spoke to him as follows. These days do you ever call your parents or write to them? Sometimes. How many times a month? Once or twice. Very good. What kind of things do you tell them? I call them when I need money, came the shamefaced answer. Nothing wrong with that. When you're short of money, it's better to rely on your parents than to borrow from friends. Is that all you tell them in your letters and phone calls, that you need cash? Yes, said the student, squirming. The professor sat up straight, a deep light shining in his eyes. Here's why I called you over today. I want you to write to your parents once a week from now on. Tell them anything, that you got up early, that you had cereal for breakfast, or pizza for lunch, or Chinese takeout for dinner. Any little thing will do, but tell them all about it, will you? The student had such respect for the professor that he did as told without stopping to think about the underlying meaning of the request. His parents, having never heard anything from their son but pleas for money, had been worried about him. Now they could relax, and they were overjoyed. They in turn began to write to him and call from time to time with news about home, and now and then they would send him treats. The student had been partying hard, but because he couldn't always lie about his behavior, he slowly changed. Once he understood how much his parents cared about him, he began to study harder. In this way, a student with a bad reputation settled down and began to lead a simple, wholesome life, all because of the professor's wise tactic. Okay, that's all about the story. Yeah, the last line, certain phrase struck a chord with me. Simple, wholesome life. I think this is how a Buddhist student lead everyday life. If it's too complicated, we make a lot of mistakes, and we may cause trouble to people, because it's really difficult to follow a complex and complicated process about everything. But if it's simple, it's not difficult to develop a good habit, and that's how we can have wholesome life. Simple but wholesome, healthy and cheerful and full of joy. Uh, Thanks to the advancement of science and technology, our lifestyle is now full of conveniences and comfort, but at the same time, it's becoming more complicated. Yeah, and then people have a lot of anxiety or a lot of screen time and eye fatigue, like me, and whole body fatigue. Yeah, fatigue, I think, in my opinion, starts from eye, and then it reaches our brain, and then causes whole body fatigue. And then we lose strength to pursue our spiritual path. It's it's very, it's pitiful. It's a kind of bad cause, bad effect. So yeah, getting up early and expose ourselves to sunlight morning sunlight is especially precious and gives us a lot of power. Yeah, especially after within 1 hour after sunrise, the sunshine has really mysterious power. Especially even after sunrise or after 1 hour, morning sunlight is very important to maintain our circadian rhythm, and then we can go to bed and fall asleep easily. And if our rooms and house become messy, we should clean up and organize stuff. And then we keep ourselves in a organized, clean environment. And then we can focus on our spiritual journey more and more. Yeah, so in this way, the professor of this student really guided the student to such a simple, wholesome life. Yeah, for us, listening to Dharma and follow the law of cause and effect, practice 6 parameters, that's our basic. So let's keep it in our mind and lead a regular, simple, and wholesome lifestyle. Okay, good job, everyone. So that's all for today's afternoon chanting. See you next time. Bye bye.
And thank you, Richie.
Yeah.